On the day her husband was kidnapped, Adel Daniels woke before the alarm clock buzzed. She felt elated. It was this delighted feeling that had aroused her from sleep. Ecstatic, she thought, as she nuzzled in closer to her husband's back. Carl slept on. Adele was gentle in her embrace, not wanting to disturb him. Joyful, content, enthralled, delighted. The cheerful words danced before her closed eyes like cartoon characters. Why am I so happy? She wondered. She sighed, smiled lazily. Lots to be happy and thankful for. Her 6-year-old son Scotty, soon to be 7, was at a magical age. He was the light of her and Carl's life. And Carl, of course, married 10 years, still in love. The affection and kindness of early attraction had remained. He was her foundation, her rock, and had created the family they relished. Best of all, they still liked one another. His business, the small electronics shop he co-owned, was going well, was turning a profit, a nice one, after almost 7 years of hard toil. Most new startups in Manhattan failed at the 5-year mark. About 50% of marriages eventually collapsed. "We beat the odds," Adele whispered to herself. "We're winning." She eyed the clock, still a few minutes before the alarm went off. It was nice to be awake, have the luxury to be still, to not have to move about, to be somewhere. Time to think about the past, the present, the future. A few moments to rejoice, be thankful. Once the alarm sounded, Adele would be the first one up. She'd wash her face, brush her teeth, and make herself presentable to the 2 men in her life, the first she'd encounter that day. They both loved to sleep. It was up to her to start their day. Adele didn't consider herself a housewife. She was a home engineer, and she kept things running. Without her, Carl and Scotty would continue to snooze until 9 or 10. Then they would dally over the paper or the news, Carl, or play games, Scotty, on the iPad. Without her motivating them to get up, get dressed, eat breakfast, get going, well, that's why the alarm was on her side of the bed. If it was near Carl, he'd hit the doze button repeatedly. And then where would we be, she thought, spinning out the consequences. They'd be unwashed, unfed, the shop would fail, Scotty would never make it to school, and he would be a dropout before starting 2nd grade. She glanced at the framed glow of light around the edges of the window. Even with the shades pulled, curtains drawn, the mid-September sun was trying to make itself known in the room. The Indian summer persisted. It would be another fiery day, but at least it was Friday. Tomorrow they could all sleep in, spend some time together without being scattered in 3 directions. It's like we're shot out of a circus cannon each morning, Adele thought, visualizing the long fuse, the 3 cylinders pointed at the sky, the gleeful clowns lighting the long coils like tails at the base, then each of them shooting off in a different direction. Boom, boom, boom. Scotty to school, Carl to the shop, and she to her part-time job in Brooklyn. She held on to her husband for the few remaining minutes before the alarm went off, and the day would begin, the day her husband would vanish.